What's going on, everyone? Happy Sunday. Hope you're doing really well. Hope you got your coffee. Hopefully you had some good sleep last night because we are going to look at what books are going to come out in February. Yeah, man, I didn't do this particular, the video for a couple different months. The holidays came up and everything, and so I did not get on this video, so I apologize for that. But let's do it right now because I used to do this kind of on my own, looking into the comic geeks, looking at the months coming up ahead, and I would see what's coming out, and I'd be like, man, I should probably make this a community thing, get you guys involved. Maybe you're reading something I'm not, and I should jump on it, and that's a good time to edit those poll lists. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So let's see what's going on. I know Billy was in here earlier, flexing. Hail, Billy, what's going on, dude? Thanks for coming in. So we are going to actually jump into League of Comic Geeks real quick, but before we do that, I wanted to give a little shameless plug right here and go over my YouTube membership. So I do have YouTube memberships now available. I have 3 different tiers, and you can sign up for whichever one kind of fits your need, right? We have like an entry-level one, we have a moderate one, and we have the cultured at the very, very end. So I just want to give a big shout out to the people who signed up on day 1 already. So we have Miso. Thanks so much for joining. We have Sal, Kirk, Lisa, we have Mandy from Nerdtastic, that one, Eric, and Dustin. And I also have a Patreon link over here too. So thank you so much. If you're interested in that, just go to YouTube and click on that join button, and it will show you all the details. There's also a link to the Patreon down in the description of most of my videos, so you can go ahead and check all of that good stuff out. So I really do appreciate everyone that signed up and everything. It really helps support the channel and keeps me doing whatever I'm doing here. So thank you so much for that. But let's jump into League of Comic Geeks. Let me go ahead and pull that up real quick. Now, if you don't know what League of Comic Geeks is, it's actually this really cool website that you can do several different things on. You can set up your poll list. If your shop is synced up with them, you can actually look and see what books are coming out far in advance. I'm talking like 2-3 months in advance sometimes. And it's a pretty cool service. And so the user interface is really nice. And it's just something that works really well. So I use this whenever I'm doing these far look aheads. I don't use it to manage my polls anymore, but it's something that's really cool, and I think it's a really good resource to use, so I use it all the time. So let's go into this. So if you're not familiar with this, I do have a video on it, and maybe I'll put it down below in the description after this live right here. But essentially, you're going to go to leagueofcomicgeeks.com, and you're going to go to new comics. And once you go there, there's a little calendar up at the top up here. You click on that, and you can toggle your month. I'm just going to go to February and click on the 1st, and then we're going to see what is happening then. So I do have a few books marked in green. These are probably just legacy books or things I might be interested in. I don't know if they're on my poll list. I know Agent of World is. So we're going to go down this list, and we're going to go through the different weeks and see what's going on. So let's go ahead and do that. So Agent of World, Dennis Camp, number 4. I think this is the last issue. And I know Robbie over at Pop Culture Philosophers absolutely loves this book. I think I'm an issue and a half in, maybe 2 issues in at this point. And so I need to play catch up. I do have 1 through 3, and I have 4, I believe, on my poll list. So I'm going to be checking that one out. Whenever Image comes out with a new book, I want to check it out, depending on who the team is, especially the artist team. And so I don't know if I have Almighty on my poll list, but I think it might be an interesting book just to kind of flip through the day it comes out and see what's happening. And we have some Frank Miller presents books. We have Ancient Enemies number 2. I didn't get this one, although I did get Nemesis Reloaded, and that book was absolutely insane. But that's Mark Millar, so I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to keep going. We have The Approach. What else do we have? Archie, Ernest Elite. We're going to kind of scroll down and see if anything is interesting to us. Astonishing Adventures, not really. Atonement Bell, no. Avengers, Ballard, no. Banshees, Batman Legends of Gotham number 1. This is probably a key. If you hop on Key Collector, I bet you're going to see something on there for that. But who knows where this is going to go. I know we have the Mark Waid universe, and so that's kind of blowing up right now. My Valentine, haven't heard of that. A lot of interesting books. Let me check the filters real quick. So I got regular issues and annuals on there. I'm going to leave variants off because that just takes way too long to do. Let's keep going. So AWA Black Tape number 1. I probably should have pre-ordered this because I like a lot of AWA books. And this is just another one that's coming out. I don't know the creative team on this one, but I like to give AWA a shot because they put out a lot of cool stuff. We have Blood Trees #1. Another Image. Tomasi looks like is on that one. That might have been a good one to check out. Maybe if my shop has a couple extra ones, I'll be doing that. But let me know if I'm passing any books that you guys are really excited about. Briar #3, cool concept. I just, man, the issue #1 didn't resonate with me that much. Category 0, Conflict #2. I don't know. Children of the Black Sun. I feel like that was didn't they like do an homage for Something Skeletal Children on that? I think they did. Let's see, Dark Web. I'm staying away from all the Dark Web stuff right now. I'm not seeing very good reviews on all that, so I'm not too worried about that right now. DC's Harley Quinn Romance is #1. It looks like there's going to be some really like meme covers for that. Like her and Aquaman are on this one, so it's going to be pretty funny to see what the other covers are. In fact, I'm gonna open it up for a second and then show you this. So we have a couple different ones. We have like a Superman one, and then we have our Batman one as well. So that one's gonna be pretty funny. Something to check out. I bet those covers are gonna be pretty cool. Demon Wars. We got some more Momoko stuff coming out, which I know you guys are really excited about. Bad Idea, The Finder #1. This is all in the first week of February. Then we have Flawed. Let's see, what else we have? This is a kind of a weird week. There's nothing really huge that I've seen so far. Gangster Asperista #3, Gargoyles Facsimile Edition #1. I know we just got the new Gargoyles series that just started, so I bet a lot of people are psyched about this facsimile coming up. Mortal Red Sonia, Lady Zero. We have King Spawn, a lot of Spawn fans out there. Killcella. Let's see what else we got. Hey, good morning. Hope you got your coffee ready. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. What's going on? What you reading? What you into right now? We're going over the first week in February. Not a whole lot of cool books out right now. Lazarus Planet. Which one is this? This is Lazarus Planet Legends Reborn #1. So we're going to have all kinds of different stuff. The creative team on this is huge. So if you go down, it's all kinds of people, man. All kinds of people. So I'm going to be a little hesitant on this one. Artists, a bunch of different people as well. So we'll see. We'll see. We're going to get a lot of like little one-shots in here and there. So yeah, we'll see what that book has in store. I just did the fatal mistake. Whenever you want to look at a book at League of Comic Geeks, you always want to open it as a new tab. Otherwise, you lose your place. So let me scroll on down. So we're at Lazarus Planet Legends Reborn. We got Legends of X issue #10, or Legion of X, sorry. What else we have? Miles Morales Spider-Man, not a bad read. Miles Morales has been pretty, it's been just an okay book so far. Minor Threats issue #4. I feel like that already came out. Unless it's like a reprint or something like that. I like Minor Threats. It's been pretty good so far. Patton Oswalt's on there, and I think Jordan Bloom is on there as well. So it's a pretty cool book. If it's like an Elseworld superhero book, which is pretty cool. Moon Knight issue 20, probably my favorite book on this list so far. Moon Knight's been a solid series from Jed McKay. Loving that book. It's really great. The art is spectacular in there, and I like the direction it's going. Ninja Funk, I fell off on issue #1. Just didn't hook me. Couldn't really get into it. Phoenix Files, Planet Comics. Nope. Man, there's not a whole lot of stuff coming out. The Purple Oblivion. I read issue #1. It's a Behemoth book. It was just too weird, man. I didn't get into it. Radiant Black, I know a lot of folks are getting into that one. That's a series I was reading a whole lot about in the very beginning, and then I read a couple of tie-ins and kind of fell off of that. Still reading more obscure and older stuff, still a sucker for Heaven and Hell themed comics and stories and horror, etc. Always looking for good sci-fi though, which leads me to more manga these days. Yeah, that's very true. I like the indie scene a lot, as you know, and so you just get different stories, man. Instead of having the same characters recycled over and over again in different situations and different team-ups and whatnot, we get some other concepts in some indie books that we just don't get in the big two. So I like that as well. And then I love my little superhero stories as well. It was pretty cool. We got Rogue collecting in the house station, dude. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. Brother Joe, got your coffee. I got my coffee right here. I'll be sipping it here in a minute. Grabbing my coffee. Yep. Hope everyone's having a good Sunday. Awesome. Thanks for coming in. Got to grab my coffee. Trying to keep with what's out there in general through with the modern stuff. Yeah. It's very hard to keep up with all this modern stuff, and if you do prioritize the modern weekly stuff, you don't have time for the classic stuff. That's my problem right now. I'm reading, as you all know, I'm reading Supergirl right now, the Silver Aged edition, and I am probably 7 issues in right now, and I think there's about 30 in this volume 1. And I read those on Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays just to get some classic stuff in. So, what's going on, Eric Station? Thanks for coming in. Good morning. It's a little early for you, bud. Thanks for coming in, dude. I appreciate that. Yep, morning all, morning. All right, let's keep going over here and let's see if I can look about that for the moment. All right, so we have Red Shift from Scout Comics. We're going to keep going. Rogue Sun. Savage Dragon, man, that book has been going on forever. Scarlet Witch issue number 2. I read Scarlet Witch number 1. It's like Moon Knight's Midnight Mission. You know, she's kind of set up a shop. These people who are in need of her services just randomly show up. She hears their problem, and then she goes and helps them solve it. So issue number 1 was very reminiscent of like Moon Knight's Midnight Mission. I think it's kind of cool. And I'm sure Scarlet Witch and Vision fans are going to like the direction it's going with a little cliffhanger at the end of issue number 1. So if you're into some Scarlet Witch stuff, you like her kind of helping people out, you want a little bit of deep cut stuff in your story, then maybe this run might be for you. So what else we have? Star Wars, Stillwater 18, a book I wish I didn't drop back in the day. Let's see what else. So Tales from Nottingham number 1 from Mad Cave. Cool cover. Might have to see what's going on there. Thud Double Vision number 4. I don't remember that one at all. Vampirilla Year 1 number 5. We have Venom number 16, a book I wish was so much better. It needs to be better than it is because we got 2 great writers on there. Not such a great artist, in my opinion. But, and that book's kind of going all over the place. If you want a good Rom V book that's out right now, read Detective Comics. He took that character and he Rom V'd the crap out of it. It's like, it's got lots of like mystical elements in it. The character designs are insane. The art is really cool. The concept is more of a Rom V concept. You read Venom and it's like, am I even reading Rom V at the moment? You know, because he's sharing writing duties and things like that, and you know, sharing different parts of the story. But if you want a Rom V book, just read Detective. We have Wakanda, Walking Dead Deluxe, Where Monsters Lie, number 1 from Dark Horse. We have X-Force. I can't believe we're on issue number 37 of X-Force. I would have thought that they would have rebooted that 3 times by now, just based on what they do with the other books. And we have Young Hellboy, Assault on Castle Death, issue number 4. All right, so not a whole lot of like books I'm dying to read here. Let's see. I mean, Agent of World is on my backlog right now. Banshee number 1 from Scout Comics. I mean, it's a cool cover. I might check it out if it shows up. I don't remember if I pre-ordered it or not. Just gonna do a quick walkthrough real quick and see if there's anything that's like I'm just dying to read from this week. Man, there's not a whole lot now that I'm looking at this. I know we have Lazarus Planet, Legends Reborn, but it's like a hodgepodge of writers and artists, so it's not like a Mark Waid thing. Moon Knight, that's always a book I'm looking forward to reading. Man, there's really not a whole lot on here. And I don't remember if I have Scarlet Witch issue number 2 on my list. So yeah, this week is actually not a great week for me personally, but let me know what you guys are picking up this week, if you have any books you're dying to read or books I should be checking out. Because there's not a whole lot of options here. And you can follow me along in this too. Like I said, it's just leagueofcomicgeeks.com. Go to February, and as I'm going through, you can go through, mark some of the books you're interested in. Let's go to week 2 real quick. See if our selection improves from here. All Against All issue number 3. So this is a blame Robbie moment at Pop Culture Philosophers. I read issue number 1. I couldn't really get through it, honestly. It was weird. It was bouncing around. I was distracted. It wasn't a great like reading time, but I went ahead and tried to get all my books read. And I hated it. I didn't like it at all. And then I watched his review and I'm like, I missed that whole thing. And so then I went back and read it again and loved it, which is like one of the first times it's ever happened. And so I'm like, this is great. I picked up issue number 2 and loved issue number 2. So All Against All is a really good book so far. You should check that one out. We're only on issue number 3. Alex Packendale is on that one, and the art's fire as well. So check that out. I know a lot of guys are reading Alien. I'm not in Alien right now. I want to be, but I feel like I didn't really enjoy the first volume. I think they rebooted it recently, and I just didn't jump back in. But I hear a lot of good things about it. So check that one out. Do you have an experience with short boxes that have pre-printed images on them? I keep seeing complaints about them not being as sturdy as regular. Yeah, the shop that I go to has tons of those. They're very popular. People buy them all the time. I don't know anything about the structural integrity of them versus your standard white box. Now, I will say that when you look at them, they do seem a little less rigid, just by appearances only. I need to pick one up and actually like flex it and see what it does. The white ones, I have a stack of them over here. We all know are pretty popular and tried and true. But those ones, from appearances only, and that's the only experience I have, I think that you might be onto something there. But if anybody in the chat has any personal experience with these pre-printed image boxes versus the white VCW boxes or whatever they are, let us know what your experiences are. That's a good question. Moon Knight continues to be one of the most solid, consistent Marvel books. I totally agree. Moon Knight is a very, very good book. The art has always been something that has blown me away as well. It had to grow on me for about 3 or 4 issues, but after that, I'm like, this is brilliant. I love it. Jen McKay's doing a really good job with the writing, and so that's really cool as well. I love this, personally. I'm not reading Avengers right now. I did some pulse checks here and there, like around issue 50, a couple before that and a couple after, and I just didn't really like the whole story overall. I didn't like where it was or who was involved and all this stuff, and so I'm excited for that. I'm really excited for that. And when it's coming out soon, right? When's that actually coming out? Mark from Geeks Unleashed, what's going on, dude? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you. It's a little bit later in the day for you. Check out Mark and Steph Missing Link. They did a first episode review of The Last of Us, non-spoilery, over on Instagram. Check that one out on Geeks Unleashed. It was really, really good. As someone who hasn't played the game or watched the show, very informative, non-spoiler. Those two know what they're talking about, so check those guys out. Yeah, you don't want to waste your money getting them. They look really cool, though, don't they? My shop's got all kinds of them. They have the Scarlet Witch one, they had the X-Men ones, they had Black Panther ones, they had all kinds of different ones. It was so cool. Yeah. Aaron's run went on too long. That's what I keep hearing. Yeah, I wonder if he's going to be, I wonder if he's being curated into like, that's maybe not the right word. Maybe he's being pushed into the direction where he's going to own more Marvel property to kind of build out broader stories. And with Avengers and stuff, that's going to be a good place to build stuff. Kind of like Mark Waid. They threw Mark Waid into World's Finest, and then all of a sudden it got pretty popular, and they spun off and spun that off and spun that off, and the big event all of a sudden happened. So I'm wondering if we're going to head in that direction. I got to relook at Marvel's timeline and see if that even makes sense. Bobby, get that out of here. Thanks for coming in, man. Go Chiefs. I have a battle today with the Bengals, and we'll see how friendly we are in a week after today's game. Wow, 5-17. Holy crap. It's awesome. It's coming up. All right, I think I'm caught up with everybody. Let's jump back in here. Batman 132, great run. The last issue was a very different book, very different pace. It was different visually. Jorge Mendes was off of it, but we still had Zdarsky on the writing. And the failsafe arc has ended, so this is book number 2 of the newest arc. And it's a very, very different book than what it used to be. So before I give any kind of judgment or criticism to it, I'm going to let a few issues go in, see what kind of direction we're heading in, and then I'll give you my thoughts on the arc overall. So we'll see. Batman and Joker, The Deadly Duo, issue number 4. That's a book I'm not reading. Maybe I should be, because I know the art is amazing in that, because I flip through it every single week. And it's like a Harley-centered book, at least, you know, some of the motivation is Harley related, so I think I should be on that. Bishop, War College number 1. That's an interesting book. Let's see, Black Panther number 14. I know a lot of people are on and off of that because of the spec game, at least. Bloodborne, Lady of the Lanterns. Anybody reading Bloodborne? I think I had them on my pull list, but like they never show up. I don't even know if they're orderable. I don't know what Titan Comics is doing over there. The Bones of the Gods, Bulls of Beacon Hill, Symbol of Truth number 10. We have Daredevil number 8, great book. Another one of those top 5 Marvel books I think that's out right now. A little bit slower. It's not as good as Punisher by any means, and the timelines are not in sync right now. If you're reading Punisher and you're reading Daredevil, they're like, one's always playing catch up with the other one, and so I think it's definitely going to I think it's going to sync back up here shortly, especially after reading the last Punisher, which I think was issue number 9. I think it was, which was an amazing issue. Music's a bit too loud. Yeah, let me turn it down. There you go. Good morning, Promiscuous Time Traveler. Thank you so much for coming in. What is happening? We have Manny jumping in as well. What's going on over at Nerdtastic News? Did an awesome unboxing of his little Doom figure and all the articulation and stuff like that. So check him out. Great little unboxings and some one-issue reviews as well. So check that out. Let me know if the music is good and you can hear me a little bit better. Oh, yep. Thanks. No problem. Thank you. You never can tell how everything is balanced. 8 Billion Genies, issue number 7. I know we're going to be wrapping this one up soon. Let me jump in here real quick. Off panel here and see. It looks like we have an 8 coming out in March as well. So that'll be something interesting to look out for. Cooking breakfast and listening, fam. Yep. Awesome. Thanks for coming in, man. Let's see. Everything sucks. What does it say? Everything sucks. All cats go to hell. Issue number 1. Wow. Okay. From Silver Sprocket. That's pretty funny. So we have the Flash 792. I'm not on the Flash at all. I was in it back in like Rebirth, and then I jumped off. Ghost Rider 11. I know a lot of people are enjoying that book. I think it started strong and maybe it meandered a little bit, but people are into it. Number 11? That's insane. Gold Goblin issue number 4. Didn't read any of that Gold Goblin stuff. I'm actually not into the Dark Web stuff, not into Spider-Man right now. Outside of Miles Morales, I'm not really interested in what's going on. And it sounds like a lot of people are a little disappointed in the arc in general for the majority of the Spider-Man books. But I always like to jump in and just take a pulse check, see what's going on with those. And you get some good stories. The Tombstone stuff was good, Tombstone. But I think they did a lot of things very quickly and all at the same time. And you can never really focus on a direction. Gotham City Year 1 issue number 5. We have Grimm number 8. People are still hanging on with that book. I dropped off around issue 4, 5, something like that. Horror number 1. Now, somebody, man, I can't remember who in the chat told me about this book, and I believe I added it to the poll list. Maybe I missed the FOC. We'll see. It's a new Boom number 1 that's coming out. I'm not familiar with the creative team, but it's a new Boom book, and so we trust their judgment most of the time. Don't burn the toast, Manny. That's right. That's funny. All right, let's see. Know Your Station issue number 3. Did I skip anything up top here? Joe Fixit number 2. Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing, number 5. I'm not reading any of those books, honestly. God, I feel like I read a ton of stuff, but then when I get to this list, it's like, nope, not reading that, not reading this. Know Your Station number 3. I read number 1. It's okay. Last Line issue 3 and 4. There's a little issue there. Another Lazarus Planet Next Evolution issue number 1. I bet that's going to have all kinds of people on it. Little Monsters number 10. Cool story. It's a trade read, though. If you want to know what this one's about, it's vampire related. A lot of kids were turned by these like elder vampires, and they learned all these rules for life and how to just survive and stuff. But a lot of these kids are now kind of raging against the system a little bit, and there's this divide between their clan right now. And I think that a volume or a collected volume would be a better way to read this book than single issues. It's a fun book though. The art's really cool, and the writing is good. It's Jeff Lemire. Maniac of New York. Don't call it a comeback. Issue number 2. Are they like memeing themselves at this point? I don't really know. I read the first volume and I haven't read anything since. I know there's a lot of Maniac in New York fans out there with Andrea Mudi's art style as well. People like that one. I think the only problem with trade waiting. What'd you say here? I think the only problem with trade waiting on Little. Yep. Little Monsters. Every issue ends with a cliffhanger. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it wouldn't read as like a collected edition, like it was purposefully built to be read as a trade. But I mean, having those little cliffhangers is something you expect when you're reading trades. You know what I mean? It just depends. So like Art Brute, I don't think ever was single issues back in the day. Maybe I'm wrong, but when it came out as Electric Sublime, I read that trade, and it feels better as a trade read, I think, even though you have these little cliffhangers at the end of the issues. They're not like giant, massive ones. And so I feel like that's a good trade read. Oops. Feels like most of the Lemire books are better read together. That's probably true. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, that's a fair point. But I mean, it's kind of like binge watching on Netflix versus week to week. You know, if you go on HBO Max or whatever and they drop all the episodes of something, you just blast through them versus a week to week kind of approach. What books are you excited about that are coming out soon? I know Saga's coming back. I think Saga's coming back towards the end of this month. That's a book that I'm really excited about getting. Nemesis Reloaded was another great book from Mark Millar. Black Cloak. I'm really excited about that. Issue number 2 from Kelly Thompson coming out. All Against All. Excited about that one as well. There's just a lot of them. There's a lot of good books out there. World's Finest has been really good. We touched on that a little bit. And we're going to see what else is coming out here in February. So I'm probably going to add it to that list as well. So let's go down here and see what's happening. We have Ronin book 2, issue number 2. So volume 2, issue number 2. Is anyone reading Ronin? I actually have the first volume. I found it at my shop. I need to go back and read it, and then I'm collecting this volume number 2 on here. The Fabulous One, Station, Nick and Chat, at work, just stopped by to say hi and have a great show. So thank you so much, man. Yeah, it sucks you have to work today. Sorry about that. Forgot about Saga. Never forget about Saga. So good, so good. I wonder if we're gonna get little 5-issue dumps going forward. Kind of what we did in this last round. And then that would be it. You know, and then he takes like a couple of month break. Poison Ivy's been pretty good too. Here's number 9 coming out. That's an interesting book. Art style is always really cool in here. G. Willow Wilson's on the writing. It's really cool. Let's see what we got going on over here. Sal, good morning. Thanks for coming in, dude. How you doing? Thanks for coming in. We're just on week number 2, so you haven't missed too much. Secret Invasion number 4. I read issue number 1 and liked it. I should have kept going with it, but I didn't. I didn't. I kind of regret it. But it is what it is. Space Job number 1 from Dark Horse. That might be fun. Then we have these David Mack, right? David Mack covers for Spawn 338. That might be something interesting. Specs issue number 4. I read the first couple of issues. I think I fell off the last one. I'm not sure why. I don't know if I didn't order it, but issue number 4 seems like I missed one. So I have to go back. It's like these boys, they find this magical pair of glasses, and it's like a monkey paw situation. So there's all that. Got Star Wars Insider. All right, we're gonna get into some Star Wars books. I'll let you know which ones I'm liking the most. Although I'm not reading all of them. So Darth Vader, I'm not on, but you know, I've heard good things about it. Hidden Empire, High Republic number 5. I have not been liking the High Republic line so far for volume 2. There's a High Republic Adventures from Dark Horse that I have been liking, but the Marvel version of High Republic, the last issue was the best one. Issue number 4 was better than the other ones. So maybe it's turning into a good direction. So we'll see what's going on there. Storm and the Brotherhood of Mutants number 1. I hear Storm's getting a big upgrade, like power-wise. I mean, she's always been essentially an Omega, but I think she's going to get a little boost here coming up pretty soon too, is what the word on the street is. What else we have here? Time Before Time, issue number 20. I remember getting on that book way back in the day. I can't believe it made it to issue number 20. I don't know. I think I've seen some people reading this book and enjoying it. Haven't heard a lot of chatter about it. This is a great cover. Best of Krang, issue number 1. I feel like I should have been picking these best of books up because they're just so cool. The covers are just so awesome. I should have been picking that up. That one's a cute one too. If Krang could be cute, that's what he would look like. Traveling to Mars, one of my favorite books out right now. There's no action at all. It's purely the drama and the storytelling and the narration and just the inside the mind of a person in his situation. He's like terminally ill, was chosen to go to Mars, and he's just kind of doing it. And you're getting to hear his inner monologue. It's the best of Blaze book out right now, I think. And it's one of the best comics out right now. So Traveling to Mars has been really strong so far. It's very narration heavy. If you're not into that, don't worry about it. But if you're into interesting storytelling from this, Traveling to Mars perspective, then you should check that one out. It's pretty cool. Then we have Wasp issue number 2 and X-Men Legends issue number 6. Not really into that one. Traveling to Mars has been great. Manny Reads Comics, what's up, dude? Thanks for coming in. See, I'm telling you. All right, take it easy. Thank you so much for jumping in. We'll catch you on the rewind. See you in the chat. Thank you so much. Yeah, Traveling to Mars has been great. See, we got some vouchers in here. I know what I'm talking about sometimes. Has been good so far. I know, right? And there's no action at all. It's not like he's fighting aliens and or racing other ships. It's just totally like this introspective narration about his circumstances, relationships with his family, what he's doing to pass the time, things like that. So I wonder how it's going to end. I mean, we kind of know how it's going to end, but what's the execution going to be like? How's that going to be? I don't know. We'll see. So we got a few good books on here. Just to recap real quick what I'm interested in, at least. All Against All. Looking forward to that. Loving that book so far. Batman's been really good. Can't wait to dig into that some more. We have Daredevil. Another good book. And let me know what I'm missing, what you guys are into. 8 Billion Genies. That's going to be, that has been a good one. Anything on this next row down here? I know we have some Joker books and things like that. Let's see. Little Monsters has been okay. Poison Ivy's been pretty good. Ronin's been good. I want to get into that a little bit more. I need to catch back up on Specs. I wish I caught up on Secret Invasion. High Republic's been okay. It's turning direction a little bit for me personally. Traveling to Mars is probably my most anticipated book this week in February. All right, let's jump over into week number 3. Is this one of those weird weeks where we have... No, we only have 4. Okay, yeah, because it ends on a Tuesday. That's right. Okay, so week number 3. I think this is right around... This is final order cutoff, so today I think is like the last day for some people for final order cutoff. So from here going forward, I think these books should be orderable still, depending on where you get your books from. So we have Art Brute number 3, the reprinting of Electric Sublime, which is from W. Maxwell Prince, Morazzo, and O'Halloran, originally published from IDW. It's being published now by Image Comics in the single issue format. So we have an issue number 3, and I love these little homage covers. They are great. Then we have Avengers Forever, End Times, Marvel Tales issue number 1, Barbarella. We have Batgirls, Batman Unplugged, issue number 1, McFarlane and Capullo. Just a fun, stupid book. They haven't had a crossover in like 30 years, and so here we are. Art was fun, story was weird. We'll see. Batman Incorporated, White Knight, issue number 8. This is a cool cover for Batman Adventure Continues, season 3, issue number 2. Got some Harley in here. I don't know if that's... I'm not sure who this is supposed to be on the cover, honestly, besides Harley and Harvey and Batman. There's a plant there, so presumably it might be Poison Ivy. I'm not sure. Black Cloak issue number 2, one of my most anticipated books for this week because I loved issue number 1. And yeah, so I'm really looking forward to issue number 2. Let me know if you guys read Black Cloak because I'm digging that book a lot. Not digging every Spider book, but I'm giving Red Goblin a shot. Red Goblin. Red Goblin was introduced back in like Spider-Man 800, right? Because I remember getting like all those variants and stuff. You have not seen Traveling to Mars since the first issue. If you like the first issue, it's more of that. It's just more of that. It didn't get any. It got more and more exciting, I think. It didn't get worse at all. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, smash that like button. Smash the like. About to hit the streets, man. Be safe out there. Be safe. Take care. All right, what else we got? We got Batgirls. Let's keep going. Comixology, Book of Evil #3. Not familiar with that one. We talked about Comixology on the Blame Phable show yesterday about the big layoffs they have coming up and what it might mean for the industry in general, what it means for Comixology. So check that out. It's on my YouTube community posts, I think, and then it's also on One Collection Down's YouTube channel. So check that out, and Instagram. So you can check out our conversation about Comixology in general. We had Dales of Suspense on our show yesterday, and it was a really, really good time. So make sure to check that out. And as always, we had Brother Joe as a musical guest. So it's always cool to see him and get him on the show. Cherish issue #4. That's from our buddy Joe Corallo. He's editing that book. And so maybe you should check that one out. I have not been able to find this one in the wild. And when I do, I might try to pick that one up. Let's see what else we have. Danger Street issue #3. I read issue #1. It was interesting enough, but I'm not into like that deep cut DC stuff. And so it was a little bit lost on me. Like some of the revelations, some of the characters, some of the aha moments, I just don't know enough about. Is it The Outsiders or something like that? I'm not entirely sure what's going on in that book. And that kind of a story is going to be lost on somebody like me, I think. But let me know. Red Goblin is written by Alex Packnadell, so I have to check it out. Well, yeah, that makes a good point. Yeah, it's a good point there. Alex is doing some good stuff too. Book of Evil has great writers in it. Interesting premise. Not a comic book. It's like a short story that has drawings kind of sporadically in it. Well, that's an interesting plug for it. That should be your dust cover quote on the back. It's got great writers. It's got an interesting premise, but it's not a comic book. It's just a short story with drawings in it. That's my experience. So Manny, I would agree. I would agree. I couldn't imagine reading Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow in trade because that's like more words than Moby Dick. But I agree with that, especially since he has a very similar format with a lot of his books. It's like confusing, interesting, timey-wimey premises up front, out of order storytelling kind of throughout, usually a big twist at the 11th hour, and then some kind of a resolution that was like, meh. You know, like that's kind of his format. And Scott Snyder has a very similar format to that. If you read a lot of Scott Snyder stuff, it's a very formulaic process. And I feel like if you had the trade format, you can get it all out of the way at once, and you don't have to remember the timey-wimey, jumpy, weird interaction stuff that happened in the previous issues. You can kind of consume it in one fell swoop, and maybe you'd retain more of it. So that's kind of my short take on that. Of course, there's exceptions, of course, right? He's written some amazing stuff, some crap stuff, and Scott's done the same thing. So good morning, Empire Comics. Thanks for coming in, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I get mad every time they show Deadbox in these previews. Why? Elaborate, Sal. Is it because it never comes out like Picture of Everything Else? You know what? I thought the exact same thing because he was showing the cover for it, right? And he was like, oh, here's the end of it. I'm like, wait, I thought it was supposed to be 12 issues. And I'm like, how is he going to end? I mean, the ending of issue number, 11, the issue number 10 was a huge twist. A huge twist. That's going to change everything. And I thought we had maybe 2 days left on the timeline, on his poisoning timeline. So I was surprised too. It never comes out. Got it. Yeah. So it's like Picture of Everything Else. Didn't Giga come out finally? I think Giga's been gone for 6 months or more. All right. So let's continue on over here. We have Deadbox #4 or not. We have Death Rage #6, Door to Door Night by Night, Colin Bunn, Cool guy. You guys should check him out if he's at a con. Very personable, very fun. And make sure to check it out, Bobby. You got to go see this guy. He's missing you a lot. Then we have, let's see, what else we have? Eve, Children of the Moon. This is volume 2, book number 5. The first volume was fun. I think it needed to be more issues. Whatever it was, it needed to be more, because I feel like the story was very interesting and the pacing of it was good, and they kind of rushed the ending. The ending should have been a couple more issues. So maybe an 8-issue run would have been better right there. And I think it affected, and then I feel like I had amnesia between volume 1 and volume 2. I read the next issue, and the whole world was a little bit different than I remembered it, although it came out a while ago, so maybe I didn't remember all the little things in here. Why'd you have to mention a picture of everything else? Yeah, it might come out if we just forget it exists. That's probably true. Fantastic Four issue number 4. If you like grand scale cosmic adventures with the whole Fantastic Four team, this is not the book for you yet. It might head in that direction, but it's just not there for issues 1, 2, and 3 so far. If you want little Twilight Zone, a couple different members of the team handling like a Twilight Zone episode kind of a thing in a very isolated, small way, you know, with some deep cuts maybe here and there, then the Fantastic Four so far is up your alley. But we're bringing the team together very, very soon in the coming issues, so it might evolve into something else. I love meeting Colin Bunn for like the first third of the conversation. He always starts talking super interestingly and just end up dissolving rambling and end up nowhere. Are you talking about you talking about his books or his conversation? He's a fun guy. He's a fun guy. He's got a lot of cool premises. A lot of great ideas. Not great in execution sometimes. What else we have? Frank Miller's Pandora issue number 2. I think I made a... I mixed my words up and said that Frank Miller and Mark Millar were the same person who wrote the same book, so just ignore that part. I'm still my first cup of coffee and it's still early. But I'm not picking this one up. Not from the lack of interest, but just because, you know, we just have a lot of books out there. What else we got? House of Slaughter issue number 12. So is this a continuation? Is House of Slaughter 12? And I know 11 just came out. Is House of Slaughter 12 a continuation of the... Yeah, it's a continuation of the other House of Slaughter, right? It's just a different volume with maybe new people in it. Because then we had the other House of whatever book that just came out a little while ago, right? I can't remember what the name of that one was. There's a lot of these books now. Manny with the meta commentary. Somebody help me refresh my memory on House of Slaughter. And we had another book that just came out. I can't remember which one. Is it back to Jace? Oh boy. Okay, cool. Hulk number 12. I hated issue number 11. I didn't hate it. I didn't like it. It's a weird... I don't think they planned on this direction. And so I think they're just doing whatever they can do to kind of wind down this current creative team and then put it in somebody else's hands. In fact, let me open this up real quick. I'm going to share this tab. And I'm going to look at the series in general and see where we're going. So we have 12, 13, and 14. Let's open up 14 and just see who's the creative team. Written and drawn, writer, artist, cover artist, Ryan Otley. This is part of the Alex Ross stuff. So if you like those timeless variants with the heroes, we're gonna get the villain variants here soon. Hulk's one of them, issue number 14. So pay attention to that if you're into those types of things. But looks like Ryan's gonna be writing and drawing them at least through 14. So that might be a bummer. It might not be for everybody. We'll see. And 11 training kids at a summer camp. Hoping for a Jason crossover. Oh boy. No, we don't want a Jason crossover for that. Book of Slaughter was an oversized one-shot. Book of Slaughter, not House of Slaughter. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, at least Maniacs. Yeah, your Costco version of Jason, right? All right. I Am Batman, issue number 18. Kind of surprised that book still exists, honestly. I know there's pockets of popularity for that book, but and he hasn't really been introduced in a lot of the main events that's been going on. I think he popped in here and there for some of the stuff, but I haven't really seen this Batman in a lot of mainstream stuff right now. I Hate Fairyland, stupid dumb book. I have not read volume 1. I Hate Fairyland volume 2, issue number 4 is coming out. It's just a lot of fun. Maybe not a lot of story progression in each issue, but like it's still a lot of dumb fun, lots of action, absurd dialogue and art and just action, man. So I'm loving that book, even if it's a little bit of a slow paced story progression wise. Still a lot of fun. Invincible Iron Man issue number 3. I'm like, issue number 1 and 2 are fine. They're fine. They're nothing to like write home about right now. We'll see where the story goes from there. Someone's impersonating Tony Stark, pissing off a lot of the villains. Tony's in a bad way. He's broke. He's damn near an alcoholic again. He doesn't have any money. He's, the media's ripping him apart. And all these villains are trying to hunt him down and seek revenge on him. And he has no idea why, because someone's impersonating him and we're trying to figure that out. But we also have a little bit of Ironheart in there too. So if you like her, she's in there. What do we got here? Another Lazarus Planet. This is probably, what is this? The 3rd, maybe 4th Lazarus Planet book we have here. Dark Fate issue number 1. The creative team is huge again. There's probably 9 names on this front cover alone. It says one shot on it. We'll see. We'll see. They might be milking us a little bit too much here for that. Liquid Kill number 1. I think I pre-ordered this just because of the cool cover. Looks awesome. Whatnot Publishing. Don't know the creative team. They got some cool variants as well. Don't know what's going on. Interesting stuff. So I think I pre-ordered this just to kind of get an idea of what's going on there. Let's see. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 105. We talked about this on the Blame Phable show as well. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers kind of reunion thing coming up. Who's in it, who's not. So a lot of people are excited for that book there. I like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mighty Morphin Power Rangers crossover that we just got, and I need to figure out when the next issue is because I had a lot of fun with that issue number 1, and I feel like we should have gotten an issue number 2 by now, but maybe the time frame is just not there yet, or maybe it's coming out next week. I don't know. So I want to get on top of that. Mary Jane and Black Cat issue number 3. That's a book that I wish I was reading because I heard a lot of insane things are going on with like powers manifesting and developing kind of on the fly. So I wish I was just a little bit more knowledgeable there. So maybe I'll try to pick up a 1 or 2 in the back issue bins to get caught up. Then we have Marauders. Mosley issue 2, another Blame Robbie at Pop Culture Philosophers. That was a book that wasn't, I think I pre-ordered it and there was only like 1 copy, so I went in and picked it up. It's an interesting story for sure. This guy is kind of pissed off at technology. He's got his reasons and the world's advancing so quickly and he's kind of fighting against it in a way. His daughter's wrapped up into the evolution and integration between humans and robots, things like that. And it was a pretty fun book visually and an interesting story. So we'll see if the depth is there. That's one of my biggest problems with some of these books. They have a cool premise, but like I just need like that Hickman level depth that we don't get with a lot of these books. And so we'll see if they take the time to really build this universe out. Yep, let me get caught up on the chat right here. The DC world will never be the same again. Yeah, for sure. Dark Fate has a first appearance of the first trans man hero and also the first superhero. What? The first trans man hero, Dark Fate. Sorry, I completely butchered that whole comment. So, yeah, that's interesting. I did not know that. I think issue 2 next week. Okay, good. The TMNT Power Rangers book and a cool second print of the first issue. Oh, okay, good. Yeah. We'll see what the covers look like for those. I might jump on that. So what do we have? We have Murder World Moon Knight issue number 1. Then we have Nemesis Reloaded issue number 2. Number 1 was fantastic. It was awesome. If you want Hickman, Nick, I will personally create some infographics and redacted. Thanks. I appreciate that. Oh, Still Force. Okay. Thank you for clarifying. Yeah, man, if you can throw together some timelines and some tables and if you can make up a whole language too, that would be amazing. And then don't give me the key for that language until like 6 issues later. And then that would be awesome, dude. If you can make the pictures that are in those comics more simplified and add graphs, man, that'd be amazing. Nemesis Reloaded 2, pick it up. It's awesome. Nemesis 1 was great. Nightclub, $1.99 book. Insane. It's awesome. Check that one out too. It's a vampire related book, but issue number 1 and 2 are really, really fun. It's got like that early days of Peter Parker, early Miles Morales vibe to it. Young kid going to school, dealing with all that, gets superpowers. How does he tell his friends? How does he deal with his powers? Things like that. If you like those stories in general, check out Nightclub, and it's only $2. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to get that one, especially if you have a subscriber discount. All right, what do we got? Nightcrawlers issue number 1, a book that's not on my list, but maybe it should be because I just added Immoral X-Men, and they all have the same cover vibe. So maybe I should be reading more of these X books going into these events coming up into the summer so that I'm just more in the know. I don't know. What else we got? Purple Oblivion. Looks like they're double dipping that month. Nightwalkers, The Ones. Some a little bit more obscure books right here. Radiant Pink. I think another spinoff of the Radiant Black universe. Some more Rick and Morty. It blows my mind how much Rick and Morty comics are out right now and how many they've produced. And they keep producing them. Later, Manny. Thanks for coming in, dude. I appreciate you. Looking forward to Nightwalkers, but Colin Bunn. Yeah, by Colin Bunn or but Colin Bunn. Either way, it works. Was that up here? Oh, from Source Point? Yeah, you're right. Another vampire book. Awesome. So that's what, at least 3 vampire books going on right now? All right, what else do we have here? Spider-Man Lost Hunt, not reading any of that right now. Star Wars 31, we have Bounty Hunters 31, Swamp Thing Green Hell issue number 2, I believe it when I see it. That's another one of those picture of everything else, or what was the other book we referenced a little while ago? It's the exact same thing. Don't tell me Green Hell's coming out because it breaks my heart every time. Because I love that book. Issue number 1 was really fun. But I'm a big Constantine fan. I have to read more of his stuff. But I like the character in general. And when he was introduced at the end of the last issue, I was pretty excited. So, Lost Hunt is so good. Okay. If I get it, Manny, and it sucks. Nightcrawler is part of the Sins and Sinner event. Might want to add that one. Dang it. Eric. Fine. The X-Books name changes are temporary for the Sins of Sinister event. Does that mean we're going to get Immortal X-Men back once Immoral X-Men is done? It's like saying Radio Apocalypse is coming out. Don't break my heart. You know what? I reread issue number 1 this past week. And I was so sad, again, that book has ended. Because it was so good. It was so good. I read it because Robbie had on Joe Corallo and Vivian. They did a documentary. Vivian did a documentary directed a documentary called No Straight Lines. It's like the rise of queer comics in the culture, and there's like the evolution of that, which is about to hit PBS here in a little bit. And I was trying to think back at like some of the best relationships, like queer relationships I've read inside of comics. And Radio Apocalypse opens with one, and it's like one of the most tragic events you've ever heard. And it was like that's how you do it. That's the authenticity that I think we need. So I thought it was really cool. So I went back and reread it, and I'm like, yeah, it re-cemented my love for that book and my hatred for the fact that it's canceled. Gotcha. Okay, well, yeah, thanks for that. X-Men Red. What is it going to be called? Like X-Men Crimson. And Legion would be Platoon of X. I don't know. Just read Trojan 1 last night and dug it. I'm definitely getting the rest now. I don't know Trojan number 1. Sorry, I was reading another comment while I had that one up too. Which one is that, Eric? You got to refresh my memory. Maybe I'm just having a brain fart. We still have to say it sucks on the monthly comic show. Can't have people thinking we like big two books. Yeah, especially Marvel books, right? People take things real seriously. Real seriously. I don't have allegiances in any direction. If it's a good book, it's a good book. I just notice trends. Gillian said in an interview that there will be more Immortal. Okay, good. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Big Herm Station, everyone. Thanks for coming in, dude. You overslept. That's okay. You got a weird schedule, dude. Oh, Trojan by AWA. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, we're getting to it. You guys are ahead of me. All right, I'll go. I'll keep going. I'm sitting here reading comments. TMNT 137. And then we have Torrent number 1. Sounds like a day in a life of me back in the day, torrenting. Trojan number 2. So this is the book we're talking about, I guess. So let me open this up real quick because I don't know anything about it. All right. Oh, Marco Lesko is on here. Yeah, this is probably a book I should be getting into. What's it about? Can someone give me a little synopsis real quick? We have mythical creatures, centaurs, fauns, gorgons, gnomes, majestic, powerful, peaceful, pure. These are just like adjectives. Like now, I don't know. So what's it about? Aggressively relaxing. Always, I love that name so much. Thanks for coming in, man. We're on week number 3 of February, seeing what's coming out. Let us know what you're picking up and what you're liking, what you're looking forward to. You can follow along on League of Comic Geeks. We are on 215 right now. Mixed of mythological creatures. Cool. Okay. And it's AWA, so I do have a lot of faith in them as of late. It's been building pretty well. All right, let's keep going. The Walking Dead Deluxe issue number 57. What's the furthest place from here? Issue number 11. That's a book I fell off on around issue 6. It was the Carnival issue. Whenever they went to the Carnival, it was 4 or 5, something like that. If you guys are reading this book still, has it really evolved? Have we found our original girl yet? The one that was pregnant? Have we found her? Have we got any answers? Who are those weird Martian alien guys in the woods providing him stuff? Did we get answers to all that stuff? Let me know. Fairyland Red Room. I think it's the best way I could describe. Are you serious? Wow. That's about as good as good as a recommendation as you can give me. All right. Wildcats issue number 4. A regular at my shop, Martin. He's loving Wildcats right now, or is enjoying it at least. So we have issue number 4 coming out soon. Wolverine 30. Some crazy crap's going down with Wolverine right now and Beast. And I wish I was in the know, but it was just a lot of different X books. So I get the little rundown from folks in the community, what's happening, you know, just keeping in touch with what's going on with Wolverine because I hear it's insane. So we're doing a legendary, doing a lengthy show and tell in the second hour, Nick? No, we're not doing, I don't think we're going to do any show and tells right now today. I want to kind of keep this short, not short, but concise at least to the topic. We did some show and tells on the Blame Phable show. If you want to see my show and tell, you can hop over there and see that one for sure. X-Men number 19. I'm digging that one. I'm always getting X-Men. It kind of keeps me in the know of a very small pocket of people, what's going on in this universe. Is the Brood coming back? I think I see some like Brood in here. That's going to be fun. And I think that's about it. Extreme X-Men number 3. Okay. So now I got to add Trojan to my list. Let me go ahead and mark it. Swamp Thing's going to be coming out soon. What else we got? We got Nightcrawlers, might be interesting. Nightwalkers, Moon Knight, Murder World. We have Nemesis and Nightclub. Great books. Check those out. Mosley is a great book. Mary Jane, I hear is interesting. I need to catch up on that one. Liquid Kill, that's a new one coming out. Interested there. I Hate Fairyland, very, very cool book. Action-packed. Let's see, what else up here? Fantastic Four coming together. We'll see. We'll see. A little bit of a slow burn right now. And what else we got? Black Cloak, really looking forward to that. Probably my most anticipated book in this list right now for this week. Art Brute. Yeah, some solid books. Saw the Blame Phable show, but I forgot you can show us again. Yeah, I think I put them all away. I usually try to find books that are irrelevant to the topic that we're dealing with. So I brought out some Invincible omnibuses and some TMNT stuff, and Power Ranger stuff, and some Comixology stuff. It was pretty fun. I liked it. Girthy streams, my friend. Beast is a jerk. Yeah, no kidding. Let's see here. Everything is so good right now. Yeah, it's hard to keep caught up on everything. Trying to read all the Xbox, Star Wars, Star Trek. My current favorite is Ryan North and Fantastic Four. Yeah, Ryan North's doing a really great job with the stuff. And you're right. There's just so much out there. Like I feel like I read a lot because I read, depending on the week, anything between. As of late, there's been a really small amount of books that have been coming out. So like the latest average of the last 3 months is probably around 12 books a week. And so, you know, there's some weeks though it's like 17, 18, 19, 20. And it gets hard to kind of keep up with everything and, you know, deal with family stuff and work full time and, you know, just do other stuff. It's hard to read that many books when you have a lot of stuff going on. But that's what we have you guys to let me know what's great and what's good. Like Trojan, I should be reading that. All right, let's jump into the last week. The 20th Century Men issue number 6. First off, I can't believe it's issue number 6 because I feel like we only had 3 issues so far. And I have them over here. I got to reread them. That's another book that I read. I just couldn't get into it. And then Robbie was loving it. And so I'm like, maybe I should give it a second read. Kind of like All Against All. See what's going on there. ASM number 20. Again, not on those. Some more Frank Miller stuff. Let's keep going. Barbaric Hell to Pay issue number 2. Get it. Get Barbaric. Read the first volume. It's awesome. And this book has been really fun so far. There is a one-shot somewhere in between these 2 volumes, and it does give you some context on the characters that are in here. And so it's not required, but like you might be like, who's this person? What's their relationship? Where'd she come from? Kind of stuff. But Barbaric is so fun. Check out Barbaric. It's really, really cool. Batman Superman World's Finest issue number 12. Looks like we have a Dan Moore cover. Great book. Loving World's Finest. Nostalgic but modern feel. Don't know where we are in continuity, timeline wise. No clue. But a lot of interesting stuff spins out of that. Batman versus Robin. Lazarus Planet. You saw those one-shots coming out. It's all because of World's Finest. We have some more One Bad Day. We have Clayface coming up. I think we had Bane this past week. Behold Behemoth issue number 4. Great story as well. Issue 1 is very different from issue number 2. And I think we're going to get issue number 3 here this coming week based on this release date. So excited for that one. So Behold Behemoth is another great one from Boom Studios. But issue number 1 is very different from issue number 2. Blue Book issue number 1. So that's a Substack book from James Tynan. I don't know if he wrapped it up, but he has several issues out on his Substack right now. So if you want an early peek, you can look at that. I've read the first several issues. It's pretty cool. Great little art style. Interesting premise. It's like an old couple has an interaction with the UFO. These people come and question them, and it goes out from there. Excited to keep reading Behold Behemoth. Yeah, it was a great book. The difference between issue 1 and 2 was really big for me, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. But I like the mystery of her transformation and like how that's possible and how he can control it and things like that. So I'm intrigued. I think intrigued is the best word for that series right now. Let's keep going. Carnage number 10, another Rom V book. But again, if you want a Rom V book, just read Detective Comics. Don't worry about Venom. Don't worry about Carnage. You know, I know they're both symbiote books and we're going to lead to Symbiosis something event coming up. Yeah, I'm just not really into those books right now. They don't feel like his books. And I want books that feel like his books because he's so good at what he does. So I feel like he's really handcuffed right now with those 2 books. He can't be himself. Boogeyman issue number 6 from Ablaze. Is that what you're talking about? I haven't heard anything about this one. Looking forward to eventually One Bad Dead series where its stories will be stories featuring all the villains getting wins. Yeah. Yep. That might be a cool collected thing too. Like a big hardcover collected thing. That's a good point. Well, blimey. Shut up, Eric. Is that another issue of Down the Mall? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Another issue. I have issue number 3 finally. I haven't read it. Darkwing Duck. Yep. Oh, we're getting there. Darkwing Duck, baby. How many covers are here? Let's see. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So we have 20 plus comic covers on here. A lot of incentives, 1 in 100s, 1 in 1 or 1 in 10s, 1 in 20s, 25, 30, 50. We have Nakayama on here, Forstner, you know, all the usual names. Yeah, I have this one pre-ordered, I think. Darkwing Duck, man, it brings back some memories. Deceased War of the Undead Gods number 6, Dead Mall number 4. I don't know. Yeah, that is a lot of covers. I'm telling you, people are milking that one for sure. Eric knows what he's doing. I told him I hate thick dialogue, like accented dialogue inside of my books. And there's a few writers, and he's definitely one of them, that just drives me crazy in that way. So Cy Spurrier knows what he's doing. He's just messing with me. Let's see here. Dead Seas issue number 3, Dead Fellows issue number 1, Deadpool, Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man, a lot of dead stuff. Doctor Strange Fall Sunrise issue number 4. I saw so many things about issue number 1 being so great. I read it and I'm like, I don't get it. So I don't understand what's going on in that book. That's one of those books I can't get behind. I don't think it's the art. Maybe it is. I don't know. Tread Moore, I think, right? I might need to revisit it. I still have it. I think I have issue number 2 as well. So maybe I need to go back and see what's going on. It was just really, really trippy. And then when I heard it, and then when I read it, I kind of dismissed it immediately. And when others read it, they said it was the best. So I'm like, okay. There's something I'm missing, I guess, there. So let's keep going. Earth Divers issue number 5. I know at least one person reading this book, and he's digging it so far. So we have Earth Divers coming out. We have Fallen issue number 5 from Red 5. Red 5 put out a book a while ago. I think it was called 89 Miles Per Hour. And it was kind of like, you guys remember Chronicles of Riddick when he was in that planet? He was in the jail in that planet where the sun would fry everything instantly when it touched it. It was kind of like that. It was this mobile community that had to keep driving to stay in the shade. But it was a gigantic collective society in these big rigs or whatever they were. And they had to keep moving forward to be out of the sun or else they'd be evaporated immediately. And I got issue number 1 somewhere, I think from my shop. I think it was late coming in. And then I never saw another issue. And it was a cool premise, but a pretty simple story. Gotta head out, man. Thanks for coming in, dude. Those visuals, yeah, I know. If it had no words, it'd be equally good. Yeah, that's true. I did like the visuals. There's some moments where I'm like, what the heck is going on? But I think that's the point, right? So Gargoyles issue number 3, which tells me we're going to get issue number 2 at the end of this month. The Blue Wall number 5, GCPD, a book that some people are raving about right now. That's completely off my radar. Wasn't paying attention to that book at all. Maybe I should be. Harley Quinn animated series, Legion of Bats number 5, Heavy Metal Publishing, or Whatnot Publishing, Heavy Metal number 1, Hellboy in Love number 3. What else is coming out? Horror Comics, we have Ice Cream Man number 35. Ice Cream Man, one of the best books created ever. Check that one out. It's still a great book. You can jump in on 34 and you're going to be just fine. We got Perry Gaming. Thanks for coming in, dude. Appreciate that. I love watching your YouTube shorts and everything about all the games you're playing. I love your little death counters and stuff. He was on the Blame Phable show a couple of weeks ago. Perry's a great guy. Check him out. Also has a comics channel as well. Check him out on YouTube. Really cool dude. Thanks for coming in, man. The Hellboy books have been really fun. Are there a couple different ones out right now? I think I always feel like there's another Hellboy book coming out. 87 miles per hour. Thank you for clarifying me there. Unnecessarily graphic in the violence and wasn't interested in coming back. I wasn't interested in coming back. Yeah, that was interesting. I like the concept. The concept was fun, but like, didn't somebody put a roadblock up or something like that? Some mysterious creature or being or whoever put some kind of a roadblock up that they dismissed pretty quickly. It was a weird premise, but it was at least something different. Everyone's saying hi to each other. Yep, awesome. So let's keep going. Ice Cream Man, pick the book up. If you're not reading it, put it on the pull list. Telling you. Immoral X-Men #1. We talked about this before, leading into the Sinister event coming up pretty soon. So we're going to have some title changes. Thank you for chat for letting me know that. A couple books are out there in the Hellboy universe. Yeah, that's a universe I know nothing about outside of the movies. So maybe I should get into that one day. Immoral Sergeant issue #2. I read issue #1. I still have it over here. It's a cool book. It's different. It's an indie book for sure. Very sketch-like. This guy's kind of in his imagine a Jim Gordon about to face retirement. And I think the story is going in a direction where like he regretted not being able to solve a child's murder or something like that. There's at least reference to like some evidence that belonged to a child, and he has some kind of a anger towards it. So I'm assuming that it's some case that they couldn't solve. And I feel like it's going to head in a direction where it's like, before I go down, I'm going to do this one last thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Ice Cream Man is so good. Ice Cream Man is probably in the top 5 best books I've ever read. It is in the top 5 best books I've ever read. And again, you can join issue #34 and you're going to be perfectly fine because it's independent stories with a very light connecting thread, some Easter eggs here and there from previous issues, but it's not one giant ongoing story. So you can jump in right now and be perfectly fine. Just be aware that it's pretty intense concepts, right? About the human experience in general. So pretty awesome. Infernal Girl Red. I think I have issue #1 coming, and I think this is in the Rogue Radiant Black universe, but I'm not entirely sure. So somebody correct me if they know off the top of their head what's going on there. Junkyard Joe issue #5. Junkyard Joe is one of the best written comics out right now. It's only 5 issues in, coming up next month, and it's one of the best books I've read in a long time, which says a lot, I think. So you got to be on Junkyard Joe. Do you need to read Geiger going into it? I would say you don't need to, but you want to, because Geiger was another beautiful book. Awesome, awesome book. So read Geiger, jump into Junkyard Joe. You will not regret that. That is awesome. Another Radiant Black universe. Thanks, man. It's hard to keep up with all this stuff sometimes. Philadelphia #28. I hear great things. Off my radar, though. Lazarus Planet Omega #1. Another Lazarus Planet. This one might be... This one's written by Mark Waid, but it's got some other folks on it as well. So you might want to check this one out. The Omega #1. We'll see where this one goes. Cool cover. All these characters in like this green rain. This like Lazarus rain. I was trying to see if I knew the majority of these characters. I got Harley with her heart-shaped glasses popping a bubble. That's funny. Poison Ivy looks great. Robin looks great. It's going to be a cool book. Okay. We have our Fear State Scarecrow still. Cool. I bet there's a bunch of covers for this one too. Not as many as I thought. So I would check that one out probably. What else we got? Lovesick issue #5. If you like Red Room comics, if you like trigger warnings and things like that from Ed Piscord, check out Lovesick. It's very much in that vein. Slightly different perspective, but same concepts in general. So you got to check that one out. Love Gary Frank's art. Yeah, it's so good. So good. Magic Order number 4, issue #2. So this is a book I fell off of. I liked the first volume, but it got a little bit too overly complicated. Some of the stories weren't as strong, and so I actually fell off of Magic Order. But I had a lot of them. All right, so here's our Mighty Morphin Power Rangers TMNT, Volume 2, number 3, which also reaffirms our comments earlier that issue #2 will be coming out this next coming week. So we have our issue #3 here. That's a cool book so far. Dan Morrow is on here as well. So it was really, really fun. So check that one out as well. My Bad issue #4 from Ahoy Comics. I'm not familiar with that one. We have Nightwing issue 101. I'm not digging Nightwing. It's not the character, it's the writing. It's the writing, it's the message, maybe? Not too sure. Things are like right on the head. Like all the social stuffs are like, man, they're just hitting the nail, or they're just making it so obvious, I think. He's like infinite optimism is kind of annoying, I think, to me. But when I read him in Dark Crisis, it was fun, you know, like the things he was doing, the things he was saying, how he was portrayed was more inspiring over in Dark Crisis. So I blame the writing, I think, for this book. But I know a lot of people love it, and I'm happy. Noctera number 12, The Great Return of Noctera. I'm so happy this book is coming back. It's a great, great run. I don't know if they intended on this book being this long, but it's coming back, and it's going to be fun to see her new upgraded powers after the big tragic explosion and stuff at the very, very end. I know people love Nightwing. I get it. People love Nightwing. There's just certain writers that you can't connect with, I think, and Tom Taylor's one of them for me. On the latest stuff that he's done, I like Deceased. That was really cool, and I read Son of Kal-El, didn't like that. I read Nightwing, it fell off for me, but I love how so many people love this book. Yeah, I love the crossover too. It's really, really fun, and I love the little. So this is the first crossover of these two teams that I'm reading. I haven't really read a lot of TMNT. I haven't read a lot of Power Rangers either. So I jumped into this last number 1, and I loved it. It was cool. I like the twist. I like the turn. I know all the characters. I watched all the movies. I watched the shows growing up. Power Rangers I'm least familiar with. But yeah, so it was pretty fun. All right, what else we got going on? Noctera, love it. I'm glad it's coming back. Punisher War Journal number 1. I feel like I should add that one to the list. But I feel like I have a great Punisher book in my life right now, and if this one's not good, it's going to be disappointing. So maybe I won't read it until I see some reviews saying it's really good. We have Groenbeck on the writing, so I don't know. We'll see. What else is coming out? Pink Lemonade number 6. I think this is the end of that. I need to pick up this trade though. I heard some good things about it. What else we got? Rick and Morty. Rock and Roll Hell issue number 1, Rogue State issue number 3, Sabretooth and the Exiles number 4. I remember reading the first Sabretooth and it was okay. Saga 62. We clicking on that, baby. Awesome. Beautiful covers for this book. Let me share my screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Awesome covers. And no variants, which is the best thing about this, because they're like, listen, we're so confident that this one is going to be the best that we don't need variant covers, and it's going to sell perfectly fine. Love Saga. So let's open this up. So we have 61 coming out on the 25th, which is the next new comic book day from here. Then we have 62, beautiful cover. Then we have 63 coming out in March, and then we have 64 in April. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder if May's books are even loaded into the website yet. Probably not. I would imagine we're going to get 5 issues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, we got 6 last time, so maybe we'll get another 6 before their next break. That would be pretty cool. Beautiful cover though. Yeah, I totally understand that. Jeff Johns is that writer for me. Really, Jeff Johns is that writer for you. I wonder if you read Geiger though. So I wonder, I mean, like there's exceptions for everybody, right? Yeah. The mainline TMNT books have been have a surprisingly amount of depth. That's really good to know. I like comics with depth to them. There's a lot of great premises out there, and there's a lot of cool art out there. But if I feel like there's a really interesting universe that we're playing in, and we get a really basic introduction to that world, to the main character, and to the issue at hand, we're missing that personal connection we could be making with the universe in general, which helps support the book overall. And so, yeah, there's a lot of great ideas out there. It's just the execution and the building of the universe that lacks in a lot of today's comics. I'm so behind on yeah, I'm only how many books am I behind now? All of them, I think, is the answer. Besides the ones we just talked about. Saga's out, another top 5 book. So Ice Cream Man and Saga are in the top 5 for me of all time. I'd have to think about some of the other ones. Walking Dead's probably up there too. All right, Something is Killing Children 29. God, please pick up the story. This is a slow burn. It's a slow crawl. I need this book to hurry up. Still good though, guys. Still good. High Republic Adventures number 4. Great book. Adventures is great. High Republic Adventures is really fun. Stargirl, The Lost Children, issue number 4. Strange Academy number 4, a book I wish I kept up with in the first volume. I read the first 3 or 4 issues. Some reason fell off of it. I don't know why. Next volume came out. I read number 1. I didn't follow it up. I don't know what's wrong with me. Superman number 1, probably a good place to jump in. Dawn of DC is coming. A lot of things are going to be changing potentially, so maybe this is a good place to jump in. Space Age number 3, awesome book. You got to be jumping on this one too. A big gap between 2 and 3, but 3 is the last one, and love it. It's like a life story for Superman. We have Allred, right, on the art. Yeah, we have Mike and Laura Allred on here. Mark Russell's writing it. Amazing book. So check this one out and get issue number 1 and 2. It's like a life story. Very, very well executed though. It's worth it though. Like I don't think I've turned anybody onto that book that's been like, man, you oversold it. I think you're overselling it, bro. So I think that everyone would agree. Patiently waiting for the next Saga hardcover. Caught up that way and just can't justify buying floppies. Compendium's out there. What does the hardcover collect? How far does that go? Ron V, is that writer for me? Not digging this stuff very much. You got to watch where you say that, man. Billy, I know you were tailgating earlier. Thanks for coming in, bud. Doing those dead lists, man. Hollywood is killing the children. Always coming in with the meta commentary. Awesome. Yep. Our Republic is setting up a history of the next big Star Wars. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you'd have to think that. We've already gone as far as we can go with the Skywalker saga, so we're gonna have to dip back in somewhere. So that's why I'm getting those books, because I want to be knowledgeable about the people in general, and I'm just jumping in right there. It was kind of. We had this giant like buildup, and then eventually it didn't lead to anywhere. It's like, nope, we're going to do a little soft reset again. Punisher 9 is amazing. Love that one. Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree with that. It threw me off back in like the X-Force days, but I appreciate it more now, and really killing it on this Space Age book. It's really fun. Robbie's not watching right now. Robbie doesn't watch my stuff. It's okay. Moon Knight was decent after, yeah. It had a couple issues here and there, but I think overall it's a really good book though. So we have Thor issue number 31. So Cates is going to be off of this book as well. Who's actually writing this one? So Gornbeck is on this one as well. Nick Klein is on the art still. So that's really good. So we have that to at least look forward to. And it was an okay next issue. Cates put it in a weird direction, introduced a whole lot of stuff and then bounced. So it's like whoever picks it up has to deal with all that. And what do you do? So that's what we're dealing with right now. Vampirilla, we have Year Zero still coming out with stuff. That's amazing. Van Helsing, Witcher. Okay, so let's go through real quick and name the books that we're really excited about. 20th Century Men on the backlog. Heard it's good. Barbaric, love that book. World's Finest, amazing book. Behold Behemoth, really looking forward to that one as well. Blue Book, it's not bad. It's a Substack James Tynan book. It's okay. About some UFOs and things like that. Damn Them All, kind of fell off of it a little bit. Darkwing Duck should be fun for that nostalgic vibe. What else? What about this row right here? Fall Sunrise, I'm way behind on that one already. Hear good things though. Anything on this row? Gargoyles number 3, maybe? Yeah, who knows? We'll see. The baby's born. He's being hoisted up right now. There's little Simba action going on there. Harley Quinn, GCPD. I'm not really reading anything on this line here. Ice Cream Man, awesome. Can't wait. Immoral X-Men, can't wait. Get me into the new event. Immoral Sergeant number 2, pretty cool. Inferno Girl Red. I might dive in for number 1, see what's up, and maybe bounce back out. Junkyard Joe, one of the best books written today. Lazarus Planet Omega, Mark Waid on the writing more for this little one shot here, so let's check that one out. Lovesick, a great Red Room book if you're into the Red Room stuff. And what else is going on down here? Nightwing. I know you guys love Nightwing. Noctera number 12 coming back. Can't wait for that one. Once Upon a Time at the End of the World. Forgot about this one. Once Upon a Time at the End of the World, issue number 4. I love this book so far. Jason Aaron, right? Is on this one. Jason Aaron's on this one. I love issue number 1 and 2 and 3. I forgot what's out. I guess 3 is coming out. This has been a great book so far. Little apocalyptic story. Unlikely duo teaming up to do whatever. It's pretty fun. Let's see. Yeah, someone get those Space Age comics to James. Don't screw this up, James. He just posted that they're casting what, hundreds of roles, something like that, and he's really wanting it to fit. There's a Star Wars sequel trilogy coming out in September of the original Star Wars sequel trilogy. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yep, 90s sequel trilogy was approved by George Lucas. Okay, who knows what's canon, what's not? Isn't everything canon nowadays? Leg and ab day, nice. So core, in other words, right? Isn't core like knees to shoulders technically? Where'd that comment go? Oh, I think something was... Oh, there it is. Herm just picked up all the old Mark Spector Moon Knight from the 90s. That's pretty cool. Lemire did a run as well, right? I think I was on Comixology reading that at some point. Interesting. It just doesn't have the art that this new run has that I'm loving. Had to hunt them down on eBay. Dude, that's me every day. I'm always hunting stuff down on eBay. We talked about this a little bit. It was going on too long, and we talked about the reboot a little bit earlier in the show coming up from Jed McKay. So I think a lot of people are excited for that new direction. But let's quickly go through and see what else we were looking forward to here. War Journal, maybe. I already got a good Punisher book, so I'm not too sure about that. Saga, brilliant book. Loving that one. High Republic Adventures, number 4. Okay, well, we're going to keep checking it out. Something's Killing Children. It's a legacy read at this point. I think I'll always get it, no matter what the direction of the book is. So we'll see where it goes from there. Space Age, one of the best books out right now. Thor, can they keep it interesting? We'll see. Superman number 1, new turn, new dawn of justice, new dawn of DC coming soon. So we'll see about that. And I think that might be it for that week. And we don't have another week. So that's it for February. So those are some of the books I'm excited about. I thank you all for sharing your thoughts on what you are excited about as well. We're going to wrap up this video. Went extra long, went about an hour and a half, so I apologize for that. But another shameless plug, we do have YouTube memberships available right now. Several folks in the chat are part of that as well. So we have a lot of cool stuff going on. There's a couple different tiers, so if you don't mind just checking that out, you can find the little join button underneath in my videos and on my channel page. It's pretty cool. Hopefully there's something there for everybody. I'm trying to make that a really neat thing for everyone going forward. So I do appreciate everyone at least considering that. Other than that, recently we were over on the Blame Phable show. Catch it on Instagram and YouTube under One Collection Down. And I also shared it on my community tab as well. We had Dale on the show, a really cool show. We talked about all kinds of stuff, did an awesome show and tell at the end. So make sure to check that out. Also had Nick at Night. I do my review video. That was out last night. Do the hauls, do the new release stuff, the final order cutoff stuff. Check all that out. I appreciate it. And links for the Bad Batch will be in the description for this video at some point here in the near future. So check all those guys out. They're awesome. A lot of them were in the chat. So I want to say goodbye to everybody. One more hour. The longer, the better. One more hour. Hope everyone had a great Sunday. Thanks for coming in. Tie-ins have been freaking awesome. Yep. Cleverly called everything Legends. And now everything is canon until it's not. Then it becomes rumor or a popular TV show. Or, yeah, exactly. On Coruscant. Yep. Well, thanks, guys. I'm going to bounce out of here, get some breakfast and everything. Everybody have a great Sunday. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Oh, and go Bills, by the way. See you guys.